Hello everybody, welcome back to another Halo CE modding tutorial, and today we're going to be talking about checkpoints, game saves, and reverting back checkpoints. I haven't found a way to basically like restart the entire game, but the way you do that is probably just load up the scenario again in your code rather than doing some special command, because I haven't seen any commands for it. But yeah, there's not going to be much saping in here. I'm going to load up a couple scenarios through tag test just to demonstrate how things work, but this is just commands we're going over. So there are pretty much two types: the void types, which are the types that actually do something, and the boolean types, which are booleans. They return true or false at a certain time, and then you can base more commands off of, you know, if the game has been reverted here, then we place some guys and shit. This line actually doesn't do anything because I was trying some stuff and it didn't work, but it half works. But anyway, we'll go through all the voids first. So game save, which is right here, just game_save. That is the most basic checkpoint thing. It basically saves a checkpoint. It checks to see if the area is safe, so there's no enemies around, you're not getting shot at, nothing like that. Probably depends on if you're falling, maybe, I don't know. But it's mainly like enemies are in combat. It checks to see if that happens. And then if you are in combat, it basically queues up, so it's waiting to save, but that queue only lasts for 8 seconds. So if you walk into a trigger, that trigger is set to go off as soon as you go in there, and then you only have game save, but you're fighting guys right when you go on that trigger, and you're fighting guys for like 10 seconds afterwards. It'll time out basically, and you won't get the checkpoint if you don't kill the guys fast enough. But as you can see up here, there's a game save no timeout, so basically it's the same exact thing, except it will stay queued up forever. So you can take as long as you want to kill all those guys after you enter the trigger, and it will just save once you're safe. Once the game determines that you're safe. And then there's a crazy one, game save totally unsafe. That would be done like this. I believe that's, yeah, totally unsafe. Game save totally unsafe, and that's basically what it says. It will save a checkpoint regardless of how deep in the shit you are. If you're stuck with a plasma grenade from a Spec Ops elite, it'll save. If you're about to die from a bunch of needle shots, it'll save. So there's a reason why there's a difference between these and these, because if you do a lot of these, you can get screwed over quite a bit. It's like quick saving yourself into a fucking corner. No, I'll just reset that. And then there's one more, I believe. Oh no, game lost. There's two more. Game lost. That's basically just no, there's three more actually. Yeah, there's three more. So game lost, it just reverts you back to the last checkpoint. And then there's also a game revert, which is just game underscore. Oops. Game revert. Game revert and game lost, out of everything I've tried, they seem to do the exact same thing. They just move you back one checkpoint. Except game lost, it kind of seems random how long it'll take to execute, whereas game revert is like instant. Like as soon as it triggers, or as soon as the game reaches the command, it reverts back. Whereas game lost, it just kind of fumbles around a little bit and then reverts you back. So I guess that's for just to give the player time. I don't know, but they both seem to do the exact same thing, and I haven't seemed to get any other result no matter what I try. And then the final one is game save cancel, and that is basically cancels any queued up saves. So if you have a game save no timeout, if you walk into the trigger, you're in combat, and then this command triggers, so it can't do a checkpoint because you're in the middle of combat. So it goes into the queue, But then let's say you have another trigger a little bit further up with a game save cancel command like this. If you're in combat, by the time you reach that trigger, the first checkpoint that got queued up will be canceled, and it'll just cancel any other things being queued up. So use that how you will. I guess it's just, yeah, you can use that whenever. If you move too far up or if you move too far back, it'll just cancel the checkpoint, and you'll have to go get another one. Or if you script things properly, you'll just go back through the same trigger and get the checkpoint again. But yeah, that's all the commands that are actually doing things. And then we got 4 bools, which are just for checking stuff. So the first one is game reverted. This is right here. Basically, this is only true. The game reverted one is only true for like one frame after a game lost command or a game revert command. And then so what I have right here is I have a squad with 1 Marine that is not initially placed, and then I have a continuous script, so this is always firing. And basically the first condition is if the game is reverted, then we'll place this squad, which is just 1 guy. So anytime I do a game lost or a game reverted command, it'll go back to the nearest checkpoint, and if there is no checkpoint, it'll just restart the whole level, and it'll place this guy. So that's pretty simple. If you go on, actually I can see right now. Well, I might have to. But if you go into the scripting thing, if you go what's it called, the h1reclaimers.net h1 scripting, the thing I'm going to link in the description, all the scripting references, there we go, that's what it's called. If you go to game reverted, it says, for the comment under it, it says, don't use this for anything, you black-hearted bastards. But I don't know why that comment's there, because it doesn't really do anything. I've tried quite a bit of things. I made an entire custom campaign. It was like 2 levels. They're very simple, but I made a custom campaign, uploaded it to MCC, and I thought like if I had game reverted in there, it would like reset the entire campaign, but no, it's literally just a bool. So if you do a game lost or a game reverted, it'll be true, the frame you set back, and then it'll do whatever you tell it to do afterwards. So that's kind of whatever. And then we got game saving. That's another bool. What does that actually do? Okay, that's basically like that basically checks if a save is queued up. So again, if this is going on right here, you enter this trigger, you're fighting guys, this command fires, it's in queue, and then you have another trigger, and you have another trigger further up, you stay in combat, so that save is still being queued, and then you have game saving, that's the command, game_saving. And then you can basically tell it to do whatever. Place another squad of AI, do something else, if the game hasn't saved yet and there is a save in queue. So that's that. And then the final one, which was there already, game safe to speak, and then there's a variation of that, which is game safe to save. Both of those have the exact same description in that scripting reference, and I haven't noticed any difference. So again, that's just a bool. It's basically this is always true unless you're in combat. Then this becomes false. And again, you can use an if statement or whatever to determine what you want to happen when this is true. So that's all the commands, and now we'll demonstrate them. So I think I'll open Sapien first. Open things and then just talk through what is going on. So I got a bunch of triggers here. This one actually does nothing because this is the one I set up for the campaign to move to the next mission, but I'm going to be using tag test, so the game 1 command does nothing in tag test. But we got these 3 triggers right here, which are the ones that are actually being used. So the first one, checkpoint 1, which is this trigger right here, it is, as soon as we enter it, it's going to be a game save, no timeout. So as long as we're in combat, there will be a save waiting to be saved. And as soon as we're out of combat, it'll take a little bit and then save a checkpoint. Then this second trigger, the second we go into it, it will check if it is safe to speak or save. It basically, if we're not in combat, and if that is true, it'll do a game save. So this is basically a closer to a game totally unsafe save, because if this first part's even true, it'll save no matter what. So the 8-second check for this is kind of irrelevant. And I think if you are in combat and you try and trigger this, it'll basically just nope out because this isn't true, and then this script is already run, and you can't run a script again. Well, a dormant script you can't run again. So yeah, if this is not true, if this is false, if you're in combat, when you step into this trigger, it'll just, you don't get that checkpoint. And then the third one, oh no, the third one is this one. The fourth one, right there. The fourth one, I tried to do some funky shit with it, but is just a game lost. Actually, I'll do game revert, because that's much faster. And that'll revert you back to the nearest checkpoint. And then I have a continuous script right here where if the game is reverted, then we place just a squad of Marines. And, oops. And then all these dormant scripts are just woken up in the startup script. So, we will test this out in tag test quick. And I'll also just go through and change the commands to see what happens. But yeah, it's oh, also there's one more thing that I have to talk about specifically with tag test, and as soon as I get past this first section, I'll show you. So, what is this? Map, name, levels, things. Ah, okay, it already happened. Okay, yeah. The reason why it went out there is because there's already a save file. It's going to crash in a few seconds here. Any second now. About to crash. There it is. So what happened there is it saved the checkpoint from a previous game I did, from a previous time I loaded that scenario up in tag test, and I changed it in Sapien here, but the save file didn't change. And where those save files are is in your documents, my games, Halo 1A, then you find your save games, you go to your profile, which for my tag test, this is basically your profile in tag test. This has nothing to do with MCC, I don't believe. Open that up, and then you have these two files right here. You need to delete those, and now we have to put in the same command, and it should load up perfectly fine. And that happens every single time you get a checkpoint while you're in tag test. So as long as you have something saved, as long as you have a checkpoint saved, you have to be using the exact version of the scenario. Otherwise it'll just crash out like it did there. Oops. So that's the little gotcha with the tag test and checkpoints. But MCC it's separated, and you have to do a lot more stuff anyway. There we go. See, it loaded in perfectly fine. So I got 2 grunts over here. The first trigger's right there. The second trigger is about there. And the third one's out there. So I believe the first one is a game save no timeout. So no matter how long it takes for me to kill these guys, it'll save no matter what. So we'll just light these guys up quick. And we entered the trigger already, so it's queued up to save right now. And if you look at the top, there it is, checkpoint done, and the bottom left also, there's stuff in tag test. And then if we go up here, this is the one, it's gonna check if we're in combat, and then save. So if we go up here, we're not in combat, everything's safe. Take a little bit to go in, and then the trigger up here is gonna revert, and then I have a continuous script running that's gonna always be running, that as soon as the game is reverted, for the 1 frame that is true, it will spawn a Marine. So if we go up a little further, there it is. Uh-oh, didn't work. I did a lot of fucking around with the script beforehand. If game reverted. Did I forget to compile? I must have forgotten to compile the script. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I totally forgot to compile it. Okay, save that. So everything else was the same, except I had a bunch of other code in here trying to... Yeah, I tried to have this counter where I counted the number of reverts. But basically it was reset every time because it reset back to the time when the revert counter was 0 no matter what. So I tried some funky shit. It didn't work. But now, now that should work. But first, let's change this. Let's just change this to a standard game save. So now, if I fight those grunts for too long, I won't get that first checkpoint. And we'll leave this the exact same. Actually, yeah, we'll leave this the exact same. I'll trigger this. I'll take too long to kill the grunts. And then I will move up to here in the middle of combat. So this will be false. So this will not fire and will basically make this script useless. And then when we go up to the 4th trigger, we'll revert to the very, very beginning of the entire mission. Because I missed both the opportunities to get these checkpoints. So let's go into Sapien. Do tag test, open that stuff up. Oh, I have to delete those saves because I got the checkpoints. So I can go to my Halo mods. Oh no, it's the exact same. Okay, my games, save games. We have to get rid of the bin file and the save. I think you only have to get rid of the bin file, but I get rid of both just because. All right. So I believe the last command I have to demonstrate is cancel. Game save cancel. Which you can probably understand by now, but I might as well demonstrate it anyway. So now I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna run all the way over here to that trigger. I'm just gonna run around the grunts for a little bit for like 8 seconds and then kill them, and then we shouldn't get either checkpoint. So we're in the first trigger. We just gotta, run around a little bit. Then we'll run up here. So this should be completely false. The second opportunity for the game save should be completely fucked up. And now, kill both of them. We shouldn't get any checkpoints. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting any checkpoints. So I missed both opportunities. In here, the 8 seconds expired for that game save because I just kind of ran around. And then over here, I had an if condition, or if statement. If it is safe when I enter the trigger, it'll save. It was not safe when I entered, So it basically just short-circuited or went out. Said, nope, you don't get the save because at this moment it is not safe. And now if we go up here, we will revert to the very beginning of the mission, but there will also be a Marine that spawns like right here, so he'll be fighting the grunts. He should. So we go here. Okay, I fucked it up again somehow. Yeah, I fucked it up again. Okay. But yeah, there, not that checkpoint works. Now this checkpoint. Yeah, I screwed something up. Oh, now he spawns. Okay. Why did he spawn now? Maybe, okay, I think the reason he didn't spawn that first time is because it was a complete reset. Whereas when you revert the game, basically game reverted can only be true when you already have a checkpoint. If you're just restarting the entire mission for the very first frame, it's still false because it's assuming you're just restarting everything. So that's why. So, and if we kill this guy, go up here, we're basically time traveling back. I guess that's the best way to explain it. We go up here, revert, he's still there, body's gone, everything. We basically just move back in time. Although the very first time it was new. It gets too complicated, but whatever.
It's me.
But yeah, actually, let's, I'll demonstrate the game cancel. So we'll have game save, no timeouts. And then we'll just have, instead of a if statement here, we'll just have game, save, cancel. Game save cancel. So we're gonna move into this. As long as we're in combat, it will not save, but it'll never time out. But as soon as we move out to this this trigger, if we have any saves queued up, it will cancel them. So we'll see how that works. And then, yeah, I just learned that. So game reverted, you have to be reverting back to an existing checkpoint. You can't be restarting the entire mission. So you have to get a checkpoint first in order for this to ever become true. So that's good to know. Save, compile. And look at that. See, I forgot to do it. I forgot to clear the thing. I'm surprised it actually loaded up there. But yeah, as you can see, it crashed right after it loaded up. Delete that. And now we'll do this. It took me a long time to figure that out. This video probably would have been up like 2 days earlier if I didn't get bogged down with figuring out why the hell it crashed. I thought I went fucking insane or something because I couldn't even open up like a basic scenario. I couldn't like make a scenario, place a starting position, and then load that up because I was basically trying to load up the old save that didn't exist anymore. So, wait, what's happening right now? I'm going here. That's going to queue up a no timeout save. We're going to go to that one, keep those guys alive, and then it's going to cancel all queued saves. So, we're in combat, not able to save. Now if we go over here, it will wipe the save queue list. We'll walk around over here a little bit. Kill these guys. Should not get a checkpoint because it canceled the queue. looks like we're not going to. And now if I walk up there, we'll go back to the beginning of the mission. So there are no checkpoints, so the Marine guy won't spawn. And there we go. So yeah, I believe that is everything. Whoa. Yeah, that should be everything. It's nothing too crazy once you screw around with it a little bit. I think did I want to do one more thing? I don't think so. I guess I could demonstrate the game lost, but game lost is like the exact same as revert. It just takes longer to execute for whatever reason. But yeah, that is checkpoints and save games and reverting checkpoints. I don't think there's a way to... I haven't found any commands that allow you to basically restart the entire level regardless of checkpoints or restart an entire campaign. The way you would do that, I think, is just for... well, actually, for both, you'd probably just do... you do the exact same command you do in tag test to load up the scenario. You would just revert if you want to be an asshole and just revert whoever's playing all the way back to whatever scenario. If they die at a certain time, you would just do a map name and then do the scenario. This should work in MCC as well, I believe. Maybe. I have to test that out, but for tag test and custom edition, if you wanna do that, you can. But oops, what was here before? This was map game revert. Okay. So I guess I'll go over all of the commands quick. So game save. Whoa. Queues up a save, only saves when the player is safe, and waits for 8 seconds. After those 8 seconds are up, it times out and you don't get the checkpoint. Game save, no timeout. Same thing, except there are no 8 seconds. It waits however long it needs to wait for you to be safe and saves. Game save. Game save totally unsafe. It will save no matter what happens. If you're stuck with a grenade, it'll save. If you got 10 elites, a hunter, and a jackal shooting at you all at once, it'll save. Doesn't matter. Game save cancelled. If there is a game save or a game save no timeout waiting in queue, and this command runs, it'll just clear the queue. You don't get any of those checkpoints. That's pretty straightforward. Game reverts. It'll revert you back to the last checkpoint immediately. And game lost, it will take you back to the next checkpoint whenever it feels like, I guess. It takes some time. And then all the bools, we have game reverted, which is checking to see if the game has been reverted. So it's game lost or game revert. The second you're back, the very first frame of the previous checkpoint, this will be true. So you can do whatever you want with that. And then game saving, if you do this, and this is basically checking if there are any saves in the queue right now. And then basically if there are, this will return true, and then you can again do whatever you want after that. And then game save to speak and save to save both seem to be the exact same, and they're basically the first half of the game save or the game save no timeout commands. It'll just check to see if the player is safe and return true if they are. And then after that, again, you can place a bunch of Marines, change the map, do whatever you want. It's basically just a condition, true or false. Is this true? Is this false? And then you can do what you can do something after it is. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that helped you make missions or do whatever you want to do. And I will see you in whatever I decide to do next, which is probably I got to. There's a lot of not a lot. I gotta do some bitmaps with alpha channels and stuff like that. Basically the ammo of a gun. There's a whole bunch of extra bitmap stuff with that. I might have to use a Creative Suite too. I think that was released in 2002. I think you can find it for free on the internet somewhere. I used it for a Ghost Recon video. I don't remember which one. I assume it's for creating textures of some kind, but I might have to use that to properly create the bitmaps, because I did do a video on it using paint.net, but paint.net I don't think you can really get at the alpha very specifically. You can with GIMP, but GIMP is just, I don't know how to use that damn program. It's just a pain in the ass. But I still have to figure out how to get the ammunition display working so it lines up, it flashes when you're low, it refills all the way. Still got to get that working. And also vehicles. I pretty much have a full custom vehicle already made. I know how to do it. There's just a lot of refining around the edges I need to work out. But yeah, if you made it here, thank you for watching. If you watch any of my other stuff, thank you for watching that as well. If you want to support the channel, you can hit the join button on the homepage or the link in the description, and I will see you in whatever I decide to do next time. So thank you for watching.